things, one of the questions which was asked, I don't know whether by Madam Ayana or Hajia, is why have we not been able to do anything about the things they've spoken about, right? Some would say perhaps it's the introduction of democracy.
Yeah, maybe.
Some would say that it's just the introduction of democracy and, you know, the introduction of certain concepts, democratic concepts and things like that, because there are some fairly new countries, and I say fairly new countries, that are trying. You know, 1994, some countries were nothing to write home about. Fairly new. They are trying. You know, Tanzania, Magufuli, before he died, Tanzania, splendid. Even the woman is doing very well. So it is not as though we cannot. Look at Gaddafi, look at Libya, what he was doing, right? So on the continent, we can begin to look inwardly and do things that will benefit us. But why have we not been able to do that?
Sure. Good morning to you and my aunties and viewers this morning. We are grateful for every day they tuning in, because without them, sitting here is just talking. And nothing.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah. And this topic, strangely, when I was coming, our car broke down, so I had to join a trotro. And it's like they were talking some things, because a lot of things were happening on the road. And
if you want to know what is happening in the world,
that is it. And I was just quiet. Me, for instance, I won't sit in a car and be quiet. But today, maybe because I was overwhelmed with everything, I was just kind of listening. I didn't even know we were going to talk about all these things. But you see, one of the guys says something, and I just chipped in that I'm happy the Greater Accra Regional Minister is saying that she's going to make sure that Accra gets street lights. Because from the airport, so you get to the seat of government, Flagstaff House, you don't have street lights. The whole place is dark. And if someone moves into your country, you know, we are talking of how people even perceive us as a nation, moves into your country, and from the airport till the person gets to the seat of government, it's dark. How do you think the person will look at you? Or what will be their relationship? So sometimes it's not about how people see us. It's about how we package ourselves, how we sell ourselves. Because whatever comes out, I don't care what is inside. I might have a lot of things inside, but what is here is what people will see me sitting on TV with. So we have to let people know what we are made up of. It's not about what they think. People come and it's like, most of the time, what they hear is true. You get a car broke down yesterday around 5 p.m.
And it's still on the road.
On the road. And it's still there. Go and see the traffic it's causing the Kasua people. They have traffic already. And that car is still there. A friend called me as late as 12, I'm not getting home. Since she left the office. And for that person to come back this morning, how do you expect any productivity? And these are some of the things this new government should really look at. The roads minister, the urban roads and all those things. We shouldn't only be thinking of how to get the money to fix the roads and all that. There are petty things that goes into production. And at the end of it, we are not able to get anything out. You go to the office tired. How are you able to produce? And sometimes I see kids leave home as early as 5 a.m. 4:30, and I'm like, how can this girl or this boy do well in school? Our time, it wasn't like that. We were not, a lot of things were not pushed in us this way, but we came out with the best. So what is lacking? What is not happening? Maybe we took certain things from the colonial masters, as my aunties are saying, but we did not use it well. Those people have gone back and they are doing a lot of things better. A child wants to go into medicine in Ghana here, you have to do every other thing before you get to that stage, and you write exams, the girl or the boy is not passing, and we have problems with it. The last time I said on another sister station that we should go back and train our teachers, honestly, because if you look at the number of students who are failing exams, who are rewriting every other NOVDEC, and now they have January, February 1, I don't know how they call that one, if you look at the numbers, when you go to the centers, it's a cause for worry. I ask, are they not taught? If it's one child, if it's a less percentage, 15% and all that, we know that we have children who takes time to pick up when it comes to our study. But this is more than 70%. More than 80%, sometimes 60%, and we want to say that it's the fault of the students. No, I beg to differ. If the system is not that good, helping them when it comes to studies, then I think we have to go back to the drawing board. I'm happy we are having this educational forum. Something should be done. A lot more voices should go into some of these things, so that at least we have a better Ghana, we have a better Africa. I know most of us are writing West Africa exams. We wrote it. We didn't have much issues. So why are our children, our grandchildren going through all this stress just to make the A's, the B's? And now even I'm going to do medicine. I have B in science. A school will not take me. Will not admit because I have a B. They want straight A's. What happens to those people who exams do not favor them? What happens to the kids? They are brilliant too. You give them anything, they will fix it. Put them anywhere, they are good. But they sit behind the books. Whatever it is, we don't know. They are not able to come out with those colors. You see, I beg to differ sometimes when we were talking about democracy and all that goes with it. I feel for me it is good. Sitting here, if not for democracy, we might not be able to sit here to discuss certain issues, to call even some people out to do good. But when you look at Burkina Faso, I admire that gentleman a lot. Though he's a military leader. Look at the things he's doing over there. We have democracy in most of these African countries. What have we been able to do with that democracy? Look, we have prisoners. Go to Nisawam. People are on remand, though. They've not been convicted, though. Just on remand. And it's over 15 years. And you put them on their feet, they cannot even stand. They are so sick. Because they don't even get the best treatment when even they are sick. They don't even get good food. I was in the center of Accra last week, and I saw some prison guys with a warden round begging for food. I don't know whether they came to work.
Okay, but what you need to, what you need to know is that for the prisoners, they give them 1 cedi 80 pesos for 3 square meals. That's the problem. 1 cedi 80 pesos.
What? Even school feeding. How much is it? Even that one they are complaining for kids. And to talk of an adult, 2 cedis, let's put it even that
way. It's 1 cedi 80 pesos. Don't give them 2 cedis, 1 cedi 80 pesos.
What would that one do?
I know.
Even cocoa, you can't buy cocoa to 1 cedi.
When I went to, I was on a campaign trip, we visited the prisons. 1 cedi 80 pesos.
And Burkina Faso is bringing out these prisoners. Use them to farm.
No, but you're supposed to have a prison farm.
We are supposed to have. It's not happening. We are supposed to have a state farm. It is not there. We've sold all those lands. And we don't even have it. Food distribution is gone. Because growing up, that's where we used to market. Ghana food distribution. We were opposite the Ghana food distribution in Dansoman. If anybody grew up. So we go there. We have that. I think that was their headquarters or something. So everything comes there before it is picked up.
You know my problem with Ghana? It's like we are retrogressing.
We have.
And we are not seeing it too.
We have.
We've left the good things.
Yeah. We unfortunately.
If you are not retrogressing, why should we think of privatizing?
We'll come there. But the point is that we are retrogressing right before our eyes. But we are either deliberate, intentional, or just sheer, lack of appreciation. We are just not seeing that we are retrogressing.
I just hope that it's my party that is in power.
I blame you people.
Of course, we will accept it because we are the politicians. At the end
it's not about the politicians. I'm not talking about the politicians. You see, if I say I blame you people, when you were in the universities, you were in a room. You were fed. You enjoyed. When we got into the university, I was in front of the room.
What was the population then?
No. Exactly. So you failed to plan for the inevitable.
Sure.
You failed. You have failed us, and that is why.
You're also a politician, so don't take yourself out. So you blame all of us.
No. You see, the reason why I'm saying this is because there are generational differences and generational gaps. from 1957.
Okay, we are older than you.
You are older than me.
So that's true.
Yes.
Yeah,
You people
we
enjoy it.
accept that.
And I even told you went to a demonstration because we were giving too much. You were chopping chicken too much.
Chicken too much. You
So you demonstrated. You just vex. So you give us chicken too much. We vex.
That is from university. Even now, our kids in the SHS can't even get milk.
Exactly.
Can't get sugar.
So
if you are going to the dining, you take your sugar.
Big boss. You know, we are not very familiar with
Amani, yeah.
One with the herrings.
Yeah, Harris. Yeah.
In North,
Very sweet.
Yes,
Very
yes,
sweet
yes.
amani.
You like the
So-
river fish?
We served amani with banko. So there was
So
demonstration.
you're even giving proper banku.
There was
She doesn't get papa.
Do you know
It's
why
okay.
the demonstration?
No.
That they don't want the head of the herring.
On it.
The head. So the
Yeah, sure.
domestic bears at that time had to take the head
head.
She cut everything. And do you know why she did?
Use the head.
She fried it, made shito. So I was there. I went and visited her. He said, I'm there too. Look at shito and gaguda. So I took it. I went in and I said, hey, madam.
The shito is nice.
Then, okay, take another one. But do you know where from? I said, you know.
It's the head.
That the head of the Harris.
No, but on the more serious note,
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
on the more serious note, so
Maybe
I
because
said
you
that-
had fun.
I said that you failed us, right? You failed us.
Yeah.
You have also
Yeah.
created a system where the younger people who are supposed to know better, act better, and do better are also following your footsteps because now you have godfatherism. So these godfathers are placing their boys at certain
We don't
specific
have,
places.
yeah,
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So they are doing their bidding. So even though they are not the ones who are manning those positions, they have their boys who are doing their bidding for them at the expense of the person who lives in Bodi.
My village,
You see?
Krabokese.
So we need a complete overhaul of this whole architecture, political architecture, so that we'll be able to move forward. Because the things you are talking about is by reason of
How I enjoy it.
our inability to have proper foresight. That's why every day we mention Nkrumah's name. Because how many years ago did Nkrumah die?
Nkrumah never died.
No, I'm just
understand.
saying. But that, look, we would have still mentioned Nkrumah's name as the founder of Ghana if we had another leader who had continued, even from 1992, let's even assume from 1992, if we had somebody who had a vision, who had foresight. Do you understand what I'm saying? We would have still mentioned Nkrumah, but would have only left it as the founder of Ghana. Because by now, Ghana would have been paradise.
Oh, but we did well.
But you see, with the
Who
education,
did
Muhammad's first.
the education that my sister was talking about, it's us also as parents. Because the mobile phone, this thing called phone, is what has created a lot
Now
of
they're
this
doing the
problem.
homework on the distance, though.
You understand?
Go.
I have a seven-year-old
So
in
we
my
can't-
house.
We can't blame the
Your
teachers.
son is
only.
how old now?
No, but what I'm trying to say is there should be an overhaul. There should
You can
be
my homework.
something.
They've given me this word. I don't
Our
understand it. Let me
parents' thing
use
is
your phone to Google and know the meaning.
Hey, no, like I was saying about the Burkina
Did
Faso
you mix
president.
mental?
Why should I?
Of course.
Mental.
And now there's no
Early
mental.
morning. Yes, early
No,
morning.
you can't even change
1
the
plus 2
students.
plus 5
Yeah,
plus 6.
Some of us will have to go and hide the school fund.
My father, my grandmother, I love them to death.
Yeah.
These two are the specific reason why I'm here today.
Sure.
My grandmother, I was not good in mathematics. My grandmother was a teacher. I used to live with her in
Okay.
Jobo. She will let you do your hand like this.
Yeah.
You have to learn.
Yes.
My father will make sure you put your feet in water and learn till the following morning.
Teaching you stuff.
Discipline was an important part of education.
Our teachers need discipline.
Because Africa, you say Africa, we are not we are not disciplined.
We are not.
We are not. So
We
somebody
are not.
must always shepherd us.
And as soon as you want to talk about it, people have issues with it. You are too low. You always want to. It's even in our
How we
church.
drive on our streets.
You
Discipline is everywhere.
Go and speak about it. Are you the only one who feels you are a damn one?
You see?
So what is that?
And
So nobody wants to
and
talk.
So somebody will
So
be,
we will be there
somebody
waiting.
will be given an appointment to go and work in the public sector. He will be given a vehicle, drive it anyhow.
Yes.
When you can raise a banker.
A biker.
ACC.
That's the problem.
24.
I saw a car.
That's a problem.
I went
Oh,
to
that's
I
why
saw
I
it. I called.
And I'm happy now because of the plates. They are being careful. You know, they are
air condition was
public. It's even better. Because of the plate, those times you see a Pajero, you see a four-wheel drive, you don't even know the number plate is same.
Well, since we have started the Ghana conversation,
so
let me start with you. Privatization of ECG. Public Utility Workers Union are all against the privatization of ECG. I don't know. I've not heard this administration say they're going to privatize ECG.
So yeah, that's the question I wanted to ask.
But again, it is good. It is always good to caution government to hasten steadily because we'll come after them. Now, we perhaps have become more aggressive by reason of the previous experiences we had in relation to, for example, PDS and all of those other things. So we don't even want to begin to have such conversations. What we are learning, or what government is saying, is that they want to work with private sector, you know, on some aspects of electricity distribution. That is the conversation that is on the table now, and that's what the minister has said. From where you sit, because sometimes people will say things, you know, for you to believe that this is what they are going to do, but then behind that cloak is also the actuality that you'll be faced with, that they're actually going to do that which they said they were not going to do. So we need that firm assurance from your government, in fact our government, but your party, that you are not going to privatize ECG.
Thank you so much.
And give reasons. Give reasons.
Sure. When I saw that this, and the first question that I was asking myself, did the NDC or the minister say anything like that? Because I've not heard it. So I'm like, hey, am I behind time or something? But I thank God that he's not said anything like that. But you see, with this power distribution, we even have private sector. We have the Sonia Soglis, we have Gridco and all that. There are also private companies who are providing us with electricity. And ECG over the years, we've realized that it's been a difficult task even to get a generation for payments to those who are giving them power and all that for distribution. And we remember how this PDS issue came and all that, and where we landed ourselves. And I'm happy that issue is being looked into, so that at least every money that went into it should be retrieved. Me, I believe so strongly that any money that has gone into any sector previously, doesn't matter when, we should take our money. Because honestly, we have said here that all those monies that had gone into other pockets, into appointees over numbering of over appointments and all that, all those monies can do us good. We don't have to go to the IMF and all that. So I pray that the PDS issue will be put to rest. We get our monies back, and we see how far we can help the ECG. I heard the minister also saying that he wants to bring all the stakeholders into a meeting. They should sit down and see the way forward, how to get things properly done, and how we should get our power on, so that we don't have to go back into, because we made a lot of strive in 2016 to make sure that Ghanaians don't get into these problems again. But unfortunately, at a point, it's happening. It went on and it stopped, and we are still going through some of these things. And we were praying that it will, they will not come tag JDM again or the NDC again. That's because we came to. But I'm happy that now Ghanaians are not like we used to be.
No, right now, there are people
you can't just come and tell me that somebody came and brought Doom so and everybody will accept it. If you look at the anger in people when the MPP comes out with sometimes some of these things, I'm happy. It's not because I am NDC or we are in power. It's because Ghanaians now know better. You don't have to come and tell me stories and I just take it like that without asking questions. People saw the 8 years, whatever happened during that time, and what we have decided to do around this time. When something is spoiled, it's not easy to bring it back. It's very difficult. So we are just asking that Ghanaians should bear us up. And so when I see TUC, the PUW, whatever, all these groups talking, I'm happy, because at a point all these groups went quiet. It's as if we had a ghost country, All these groups, especially when it comes to the free SHS, nobody wanted to touch that subject because if you are not careful, you are a teacher, you are someone who is into education, you'll be in hot waters or you'll be in trouble. But it's good that we have a government that people are now coming up to speak, and by God's grace, we will listen. And they are listening. We are not going to do things because we are in power. We go for it, whether Ghanaians want it or it will help the nation at large. No, we want to sit with stakeholders. Anytime stakeholders are involved in issues like this, it helps. And it helps us to move forward.
I like that approach.
Honestly, yes, and it's the best. You can. The last time we were on air with them, we were complaining. We are forming committees all over, forums and all that. I said that's why they failed. Because if you listen to everybody, look at the kind of expose Auntie Rhoda was giving us this morning. Some of the things people might have heard, others for the first time might hear this one. Yes, and it's good. So there are lots of people out there who have ideas, who know how to do certain things better than most of us, the politicians. Why don't you bring all these people together? Let's sit on the round table. Make sure we have solutions. Lasting solutions, not one that we do today, tomorrow, then we have to go back and spend another money to do it. So I am happy that the minister wants to do this, and we are here, like our president said, not to complain, not to blame anybody, but to fix the mess for the reason why we were voted for, at least. So Ghanaians should be rest assured. Nobody will just get up and do anything in this government. Because at least our president have shown an example. And I'm sure his ministers or his appointees will follow suit. And all Ghanaians will be brought together, or will go along with every ministry or every agency.
Thank you. Said Dushaibu says, good morning. What Ajay is saying about the German visitor is very true. Still, some Western world think Africa is about sicknesses, animals, and hunger. Meanwhile, there are worse, hungry, and very poor people, only they don't show. William Monday Jikenu says, Kerodi, good morning. ECG should be given to the private sector. I report an illegal connection, and they return to collect money from people and mention my name. They continue to use light free, and I pay them 500 cedis every month. Okay, so you see what he's saying? That he went and reported that some people had illegally connected. The people came, mentioned his name, that he's the one who came to report. They took money from the other person, and then they left. Good morning to Pan-African Television, the only TV station that has the overall interest of Africans at heart. Kudos to the three wonderful women and the gentleman on the morning show discussing the Sudan crisis. The crisis in Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo stem from complex historical, political, and social factors, each with its own unique context. Following the overthrow of al-Bashir, a power struggle ensued between military factions and civilian groups, leading to ongoing protests and violence. Both crises require comprehensive approaches that address the underlying political, economic, and social issues, while promoting dialogue and cooperation among all stakeholders. Mr. Benemo Igoyota Edward, resident of Old Motiano in Weja, Accra. Thank you for your message this morning. Ghana can only recover from the mess when we all realize how greedy politicians are. Please ask Madam, which of the Madams are you referring to? The one who is relating to underperformance of students, to low teacher performance. Has she forgotten the inconsistent and instability of the curriculums and teacher-learner resources inadequacy? Good morning, Hussein, Western North, sent in this one. See why I love my viewers. Very discerning. I love them to bits. But you answer the question. No, yeah. Good morning to you, KOD. Good to see my beautiful mothers with you. Kwame, I like what you said, that Ghana is retrogressing. Indeed, it's only Ghana that will name its first point of entry after a senseless coup maker, International Airport. Maybe Auntie Rodlin will explain this better to me. Who is Kotoka? Change the name Kotoka Airport. Bibi from Musuku sent in this one. It's amazing seeing Hajia Hamdatu at the SMG show yesterday night. But champion, ask Hajia who still owns the Nyaneba estate, since she stayed there before. Thank you. Hey, what does that got to do with anything? I own it. I own it. My name is Scott from Somanya.
It's only one building they have there.
It's just one house.
One house.
That's the Nyaneba house.
The Nyaneba house, that's all.
Where the mother was.
There's the mother was.
They just call it Nyaneba.
Nyaneba.
It's for individuals.
It's for individuals.
Even where we stayed, we were renting. It's for one Mr. It's from Kufredua. Yes. It's for individuals.
It's for individuals.
So the name of the place is there?
Nyaneba. Yes.
Oh.
It's not for them.
Me to have a lot to learn. My name is Scott from Somanya. And I just want to say
then the person knows me.
A very big thank you
it's
to
true that
a very big thank you to you all, especially Hajia for her knowledge. Greetings to my dear fiancée Ruby in Ashaiman. I love her so much. Hey, what's
no one saying breakfast.
Hello, is this Pan African TV? Yes, indeed, it's Pan African TV. This one says, good morning to you. Please, one at a time so we can follow the discussion. Yes, please, we will do that. Thank you. Kelody, wonderful guests. Making a lot of sense this morning. At least kudos to my Aka Koko Cortes for being so objective this morning. All right. So these are some of the few messages that we have received. I will read the rest as and when they come in. But let me come to you, Madam Rodlin. That was a rhetorical question. Let's come to Madam Rodlin on the subject, the TUC matter, Poo and TUC matter, please.
Okay, so privatization of ECG. I think I read it somewhere that there's not going to be any form of privatization. I don't think that there's a need for us to privatize such a national asset as the ECG. What we need is to be able to curb the waste, the misuse, the stealing of power. There are so many things that are not right within that establishment called ECG. First and foremost, I don't know if they do random checks on those that really consume a lot of power, because somehow there are a lot of shortfalls in revenue. That's what they tell us, that a lot of people are using electricity for free. But let's ask ourselves, do government establishments pay electricity? You understand? So if you take the view that most security agencies in this country don't pay that much electricity, and then you look at government establishments, ministries, the homes of ministers, because all of this ECG is supposed to be free for them. I mean, electricity is supposed to be free for them. So does government pay ECG for the usage? And is there any form of a cut? Say, for instance, you can use up to maybe 400 cedis or 400 watts of electricity. The rest of it you have to pay. Is there anything like that? I don't know, I'm only asking. Because you see, we have homes where even in the kitchens, the air conditioning, because they don't pay, a lot of our public officers, they have the kids' room, the bedroom, there's everything, air conditioning. It's on, it's central, almost. And because they don't pay, they can leave it on. Look, you go to ministries, people will lock up their offices with the air conditioning running and go to lunch. 2 hours, 3 hours, they come back and it's still there. Why? In your own home, if you were putting your hands into your pockets and bringing out money to pay, would you do that? But we don't check all those things. So we have to sit back now and really look at how much electricity, if you are being given electricity by government, how much?
Do you even have to be given?
How much? Well, if they say they are going to give, because they are using their gorgeous back then, they have the power, we don't have. So by all means, they'll still want to do that. And you know, I keep asking myself, I said, why do we want to even change all at once? ECG has gone through so much. I would be really happy to see an independent supplier of electricity in this country. You know, so that you have ECG, which is state-owned, and then you have the private sector, which will also have their own power station. If I want to go into an agreement or a contract with the independent power producer, I'll go. So I'll depend on that person to generate power and give me my power. So I will not have any reason to say government has not given me electricity. If you decide to go with the ECG, Electricity Company of Ghana, that's your business. You also go there and then pay. But we need to open up some of these things to the private sector. Not that we should privatize ECG, but we should rather invite the private sector to be able to sell electricity to those who want to join those groups.
Why don't you explore other, other sources of energy?
It's going to be the same story.
Green energy.
Mismanagement. Our main issue here is mismanagement. We are not able to manage what we have.
Are we not mismanaging because we don't have competition?
Yes, we don't have competition. That's why I think that we need competition. We need a private person to come in, or private entities to come in and also start supplying electricity. Then we can all join up, even water and sewage, the same thing. You know, that it's something.
Isn't that we are questioning our inability to, we are questioning our ability to manage those institutions.
And the next thing that I think we ought to do, if we have to keep ECG and make it viable, is for us to have another body to actually, what shall I say?
Superintend over the activities?
Yeah, not superintend, but to select a managing director.
Right.
For ECG, for water and sewage, for certain services. Because if you are a managing director of ECG or CEO of ECG, and you are being put there by a political head, that's the president, how are you going to be able to go and put off lights of ministers, of Parliament House, of all those other places? You understand? But if you are being put there by a body, a regulated body that actually says that, look, we're looking for a CEO for ECG, everybody is free to apply. It goes, and that body takes it up, they set up and they elect you. It means the president is not the one to fire you. Like the Public Services Commission.
That should have been the job of the Council of State, for instance, if we had the Secretary of Parliament.
Exactly. So like the Public Services Commission, it goes like that. You just can't sack me. You have to go through a system. If we did it like that, then that person will have the power to be able to say that Parliament hasn't paid, go and put them off. You understand? This minister of this or ministry of this hasn't paid, put it off. But now they can't do it. And if you really want to know, go and ask them how much government is owing this ECG thing, because it's state owned. So it's not that we cannot do it, but somehow because of the political interferences that go into the running up of these things, that's what happens. So for me, we need competition.
All right.
But I don't think we should privatize ECG. We should invite more people in.
Adia, competition, privatization.
I don't want them to privatize.
Somebody mentioned that yesterday I was at the Socialist Forum. Yes. And I don't know whether it was Uncle Pratt who made mention about over 600 state-owned enterprises that were sold.
Yes.
Only 2 are in
good shape.
Lancaster now, and then Movenpick. Lancaster, Golden Tulip, and then Movenpick, which was is it Ambassador? Which was?
It was Ambassador.
Ambassador Hotel.
Yeah, Cityville.
No,
Ambassador.
But Lancaster is now owned by somebody.
No, that is what I'm saying. That were given to private sector. That's the only 2 that survive.
Yeah.
So how sure are we that when we give ECG to the private sector, it will work?
Oh, yeah, that's it. That's why it shouldn't be privatized.
And then the Chinese man made a point that was profound. The water, electricity is supposed to be run by the state.
Definitely.
Not in that China, there are private things like this. They don't give it to any private.
The lungs of the state.
Yeah. So for me, I was saying that maybe TUC. I'm sure anytime a matter concerning ECG comes, people speak against it. People have spoken against it. And then the wastage is what is causing all this hulama. In advanced world, why is it that we are not hearing about illegal connection? Why are we not hearing about illegal connection? It's because we've put people in certain places who are also helping the thieves to steal. Look at an instant. He said, Tester said he went to report, and then a whistleblower. His person was blown.
Was blown.
His cupboard was blown.
Oh,
it's even a risk.
It's a big risk.
You understand? There's an area, if you go, they use air conditioning in every single room. The ECG people cannot enter and check.
Right.
It's happening in this country.
The gate or what?
You are saying where?
They're not.
You don't know. You don't know these areas that you don't mention their names.
Yeah, you can't mention names because they come after you.
Me, I don't even care whether they come after me.
You come after you.
Even the Trasacos and the East Legons.
But let me tell you, you'll be surprised these big areas. Most of them, Auntie Rhoda, speak for yourself, don't speak for others. I had somebody who was telling me how you connect your air condition and it will not be detected. And I said, Yeah. If I have money, I'll put my air condition on. If I don't have money, so my children will say, hey, mommy, it's only when you have visitors that you put air conditioner. So it doesn't matter. I'll open the windows for me to do illegal connection. But the illegal connection is what is killing the ECG. And some of the ECG workers too are collaborators. So how can we remove middlemen and women from this business of ECG? How can we do that? By all of us using prepaid meters. We're talking about governments established. You know the buildings behind Parliament House where the MPs and some ministers were staying. I remember I visited one minister there, and then he was sitting down when the ECG people were changing his postpaid to prepaid. That one, it was a directive by the government then. All bungalows should be changed to prepaid. Do you think if the ministries are using prepaid, the secretary or reception will leave the air condition on 24/7? The minister will come and say, hey, put it off. Maybe today the weather is cold, open the windows and the doors. Or use fan for air to. But we are not doing that. Government is the one who owes ECG more than anybody. How did that happen? Because of the wastage in our ministries and departments. If we use prepaid, we'll be solving 80% of our waste in the system. Some of them too don't want the prepaid because of the way they do their illegal content. Even some of the these welders, fitters, go and check. Go and check.
There
was a day I was driving deep in Ofonko. That was about 10 years ago. Around 5 o'clock, people were busy digging across the road. So when I got there, they said, oh, madam, pass. I said, what were they going to do? But I didn't keep on, so I came back. And they were laying cables. Illegal connection. Yes.
I have stopped zooming on my road.
You see, so if there's no checks, how will this stop? For us to stop complaining that there are wastage, electricity corporation is owing this, is owing the suppliers, and because so far as I'm concerned, I am using a prepaid meter. I always pay my electricity because without me paying, I cannot get electricity. So I'm paying.
Sure.
You understand? So the prepaid can sort of solve most of the problems of this country. Because if you really pay before you are giving the electricity, you won't waste it. But because you are using air condition, fan, you enter some of them, their kitchen, as Auntie Rhoda is saying, the air conditions are on. But in fact, some genuinely, they use. Some genuinely, they are using this thing because of the heat. But they pay.
Oh,
yeah. They pay.
It's not everybody.
They pay.
Oh, it's not everyone.
Me like this, I can. I'm using a borehole in my house. That's why my electricity consumption is high. Why? Because this is the what I'm using to. So anytime I buy, I said water bill, electricity bill. I don't want to label it as electricity bill and think that it is high, because I'm using it for my borehole too. So if it is 1,000, I say electricity is 600. Water 400 a month. Then I write it and I say that is because if you just say the 1,000 is all electricity, you say it's too much. But this is why I'm being honest on how I'm dealing with my domestic issues. But you see, KOD, if we want to resolve this matter, it's not about privatization though. It's about checking illegal connection one. You know, they have a maybe if there's a, how do you call it? Is it transformer at a place? They know the kind of consumption that can go through a period for a transformer. So at times they will come and see that it's over. So they can check and know exactly where, if they want to work, they work. Or if they want to work, they work. It isn't they're not efficient. It is not true. They are very efficient. But it's the way sometimes they compromise on their principle by bending the rules. If not, somebody can come, especially at the postpaid. Maybe you owe, it's about 2,000. You can pay. Mami 500 be. Mami 500, cut to 500. Then they will do some kululu. There was a problem with my electricity. Then I called somebody. I said, what can I do to get? No. You know, it got to a time the app you buy the credits had a challenge the latter part of last year. So 3 days we were not having electricity. And I was thinking of the food in my fridge. And somebody said, oh, Aja, you better not connect to direct. You see direct. And somebody will come and say, what direct? I said, no. So I put pressure on the ECG until they gave me they gave me a number of somebody to call that she has some. You know, they give it to vendors. Yeah. And she said, oh, me or church, me we are. When she finished, she told me to send her the money. And she sent me the money and I put my, but in fact, because what I don't want, KOD, they will come and arise such illegal connections. Subhanallah.
Because you don't know who is coming. Yeah. Because you will be there, you want to come and check.
You see, so for me, people should be, so we are all Muslims and Christians in this country. We should behave as such. Because if we don't do that, we are lying through our teeth too much.
Thank you.
We are lying.
Thank you.
Yes. We don't have any kind of building policy in this country.
Building policy? Yes. This one I was talking about the issue of rent.
I don't.
You know, and what I think government should do.
We are all having glazing.
With immediacy.
We are all having glazing. Everywhere is glass glazing. Everybody. You know? River blades have gone out of vogue. Wooden shutters gone out of vogue. Now it's all glaze, and the glaze is heat.
Hey, wallahi, you see, I regretted. Wallahi,
it's heat. So everybody.
Oh, the heat, especially if there's light off.
Oh, you are in bad business.
Because of the robbery and all those things. So that's why right now we are forced to be using those things.
Yes.
But in some jurisdiction they use it for officers.
The liver blades, me, I can remove all of them.
Yeah, myself.
I can remove all of them. So it's because of security.
The one we are using now, you know, other jurisdictions don't use it too. It's for their officers. We are using it for our houses.
I don't particularly.
We want to beautify too. We are thinking
we look at it and we say, oh, it's beautiful. But honestly, we are killing ourselves.
Wallahi, we are killing ourselves.
Agenda 111. President Mahama says $1.7 billion is needed to complete the project. According to him,
20 billion. We can do it.
According to him, only one hospital has been completed. So President Mahama has revealed that only one hospital under Agenda 111 project has been completed since his administration took office, highlighting the immense financial burden required to complete the initiative. Speaking at a meeting with the Christian Council, Mahama disclosed that the government would need about $1.7 billion to complete and operationalize the remaining hospitals. The previous government started Agenda 111 but has not been able to finish the hospitals. There are so many of them unfinished. Even the ones they commissioned don't have a single bed. Now we need about $1.7 billion to complete the Agenda 111 project, he lamented. Mahama urged churches and religious organizations to partner with the government in addressing the stalled hospital projects to improve healthcare accessibility. If the missions have a hospital in an area, we are not coming to compete with the missions by building a hospital. We will use the resources to improve the mission hospitals so that they can provide the service, he stated. Further, he suggested that religious missions could take charge of some of the incomplete hospitals, complete their construction and manage them to ensure efficient, healthcare delivery. So he's proposing that if some of the missions are interested, they could finish some of the hospitals and manage them. Now, let me start with you, Haji Hamdatu. Agenda 111.
Yes, Agenda 111 is a laudable idea because I think healthcare is very, very important to all Ghanaians. And then accessibility is very, very also important. I don't know how many Agenda 111 hospitals we have currently. We are told one was completed. But I think I saw so many videos. Maybe a building can be completed, but what will take the building to be efficient? Maybe that is what is lacking. I should think so. Maybe equipment, beds, and what have you. But we have to also ask. We have contractors on the Agenda 111.
Yes.
Have we contacted the contractors? How much they were given, and we should take an inventory of whether the money taken for the Agenda 111 hospital was the use for its purpose. Because maybe if there's an Agenda 111 project, by all means, money were given to the contractors. I think the first point of call should be the contractors working on the Agenda 111 before we can take any decision. Because if it's anything at all, any contractor who took money to build a hospital, and then maybe he or she has been given, I'm giving an example, maybe 100,000. And then the 100,000 took care of only foundation or maybe clearing of the site. Let's take inventory of that before we can conclude on whether we should give it to the mission to run it. Because if we don't do that, maybe some people will go with our monies. Because if we need even 1.something billion, Oral has made us to understand that we will be able to get about 20 billion. So I think the problem will be solved even through Oral, if what they are telling us is true. Because for me, we cannot just jump into giving the facilities to people to complete. Those who were doing it, where are they?
Have they been paid?
Have they been paid? Or the money that they were given, did they work up to that amount? We should take those inventories first before we can do anything. Before we can do anything. Because it's a very good thing. And the mission hospitals, I know they don't charge like private hospital, because if you talk about mission hospital, you can talk about even the one in Koforidua, I've forgotten the name, Saint something that does the broken legs and whatever. If you go to other places, what they charge is less than what. So, and you go to Iran clinic. In that clinic is like a mission. Their services is very affordable. People in even some government hospitals even charge more than some of the mission hospitals. So I think we have to take a very comprehensive inventory of where we've reached when it comes to the Agenda 111. And I'm sure the president spoke about the 1.something billion, maybe based on the is it transitional team handing over notes or something. But I think some questions should be asked. Are these contractors going to continue the project or what? And why can't they, or why can they sort of complete the project? Because if a project, a hospital has been built, fully complete, but maybe it's the equipment. Is the equipment part of the contract
that was
of
awarded.
the contractor? We have to find all those probing questions before we can take a decision. Maybe if they can give me one to complete and run it, alhamdulillah, I can do it.
Alhaji Hamza and Pig Farm says, I totally agree with my sister Ajay Hamda too. Workers of the ECG themselves are collaborators. Go to industrial areas and see things for yourself. Power is connected to a lot of factories in this country. The ground, through the ground, and not through electricity poles. And these factories have fixed amount of money that they pay to ECG workers without passing through their offices. We are told meters are not supposed to be sold to customers. But my brother, go to the offices of any ECG and request for a meter and see. At least the least amount you pay is around 2,500 or 3,000. So my brother, I am totally in support of this privatization of ECG, TUC, and PU can have their say, and government will have its way. All right. Okay. The name of the hospital is St. Joseph Orthopedic Hospital.
Yeah, Joseph. Is it up with for you?
Good morning to you, Pan-African Television. The concept where the prospective power consumer is made to make huge capital investment to access power is problematic. This directly leads to illegality and corruption. To resolve this, there should be some really huge capital investment, perhaps from private investors. To resolve this, really huge capital investment, perhaps from private sectors, is needed to extend the facility upfront to the consumer. This will enable home users pay their bill more easily. My 2 pence. Eric from Ejuso, retired scientist. Eric, thank you very much for your message this morning. I appreciate you. This one says, good morning to you. 1998 to 2000. In 1998-2000, books, mathematics and some other subjects were published in Ghana languages. But as soon as Kufuor ex-president came to power, he stopped everything. Oh, no, this is an old message. Oh, sorry. Good morning to you, KOD. The problems of ECG are the workers themselves. They need to be disciplined. Every human being needs to work, but when given, they want to be forced before they work. From Kwesi, Biakoye District. Good morning to you, Pan-African Television, and your panelists. Please, Ghanaians want to know how long it will take to work and bring back unjustified collapsed banks, especially GN Bank and other banks. Thank you for the good work. All right, thank you very much for your message this morning. This one says, good morning to you, KOD. This is Adam Kola, PR from Tamale Central. My brother, privatization of ECG is bad for Ghanaians. JM should not think about it. ECG must be our own. I send my regards to Alhaji Tanko Maida and Chief Dakbem Dana. Thank you, sir. Good morning to you, my brother. Please, as a teacher in senior high, I pay electricity using prepaid with my scanty salary. So how come a minister with big salary will not pay electricity? Susie sent in this one. Susie, this matter. Since when did the NPP realize the government is a continuum? Were they not the same people who left several E-blocks, hospitals, and other infrastructural projects to rot? Nana Kakari Tachiman. So what you are saying is that Mahama should also leave theirs to rot? Good morning to you, Kwame. Kudos to our wonderful women in the studio. In fact, they are doing absolutely good. I'm really enjoying their submissions. Hope, Simbeli, Hlogbe, Agbotime, Agbozome, K2 South Constituency. This one also says, we need men of testicular fortitude to fight the endemic and institutional corruption that has bedeviled the progress and prosperity of our country, Ghana. Written by Ernest Evalof Kwashi from Dansuman. Thank you, Ernest, for your message this morning. KOD, please find out from the NDC communicator whether there will be provisions in this year's budget to recruit nurses and teachers. Karafi Akugre from Obuase. Good morning to you, champion KOD. I don't agree entirely with President Mahama on the issue of mission hospitals. Where there's a mission hospital, there shouldn't be government hospital available. And that government will help provide resources for these hospitals to run. Yes, some mission hospitals are good, but most of them operate with cash and carry system. And he continues to say that it will surprise you, but that's the reality. We need government hospitals everywhere in the country. Thanks, Norbert Nyaba from Nkranza, Bono East region. This one also says, good morning to you, Pan-African Television. Okay, good morning to you, sir. Good morning to you, KOD, and your lovely ladies. Aigbe from Tamale sent in this one. And let me come to you, Auntie Rodlin, on the other subject matter.
Agenda 111.
Yeah.
Until you have equipment and stuff in a house, you cannot call it a hospital. Just a building is just a house. It's just a building. So even though we're told that certain districts had finished with their Agenda 111 hospitals, we've been told that it was the structure that was there, but the equipment were not inside. Sure. So you cannot call that a hospital. Agenda 111, a laudable idea to serve a lot of people because it was going to the districts. If you look at the fact that most people cannot access regional hospitals because of various reasons, transportation and all the likes of it. But you see, this project started, a project that was supposed to have been ended by 2023. It was started in 2021. Within 24 months, they were supposed to have finished Agenda 111. And to think that they started the sword cutting and the seed capital that was used at that time was about 100 million. A project that was supposed to be costing billions. You start off with just 100 million. I think that we should always cut our coats according to our cloth or our size, as they used to say. There was no need for this kind of mass projects. They could have picked on a few. If we had even gotten 10 completed in certain districts, it would have helped us a lot. But having 111, and we're being told now that it's one that you can say is fully equipped to start off taking in people. And we know that it's not only the hospitals, it's not just this particular Agenda 111. There's so many other things. We have roads, we have other hospitals, Afari, a lot of hospitals need to be completed. Where's the money going to come from?
I just says it's going to come from oral.
Relying on oral. It's not today, it's not tomorrow. It will take, it's a process, you know. We don't even know how much we're going to get from oral. We are indebted. We are going to be paying a lot of our debts starting from this year, 2025. So it just goes to show that we will not have even enough to tackle the Agenda 111. Giving it to mission hospitals is not, for me, also a very good idea. I was thinking that maybe the districts that these Agenda 111 is situated, those districts should find ways and means of completing them. They should take it as their projects and find ways and means to complete them. But in the future, we should have it probably enshrined in our constitution that anyone who comes up with such an idea, knowing very well that you will not finish it, you should be charged for causing financial loss to the states. Because you knew that you did not have the money to finish it and you started it for political expediency. That is wrong. As you travel across this country, you find uncompleted structures from Kwame Nkrumah's time littered in all sorts of places. When are we going to be able, that's money down the drain. In as much as we just see them and we talk about it and everybody goes to bed, that is money down the drain. It doesn't have to do with only Agenda 111 hospitals. It has to do with even transportation, buses that are left, cars that are left. You see a whole lot of things rotting away because there's a change of government. All these things.
We were not able to sustain a BRT system. That was very painful.
We were not able to, and there were new buses equipped.
This country.
I was looking through some clips. I saw apparently pickups that were imported for the police.
The police,
it was left to rot. And I remember
we are such a wicked.
We are such a wasteful nation. Very wasteful. And yet we sit up every day and we say we don't have money. And when we get the money, we waste.
But ECG, you go and import equipment,
and then you leave it at the port. And then
you sell it to your crony.
And then you come and sell. When I listened to that, it was like,
What's for that one? Then you need to be questioned.
Those are the times that sometimes I get a bit hard. I said, there are some people that have to be put up their stakes and shots.
I agree.
There's some people that have to put up their stakes because this is wrong. How can you be looking at your country and always want?
They should rather allow them to cough.
But they can't profit, Haja. They spend the money. Some of them have spent the money. Look, if you have that kind of money, you've gone to Dubai, you've gone to wherever, holiday, Singapore.
You bought cars and mansions
for girlfriends. You've bought cars and mansions for God knows what. You've done. You've had birthdays. Event planners have chopped some. They waste the money. That's the most painful aspect of it. I said, if the monies that they had stolen, people are perceived to have stolen, if they can even use that money to do factories and the likes, I wouldn't even be angry.
People fly to go and watch football.
And come back.
People fly to go and buy pizza.
and come. They don't fly
Pizza.
to go. They actually expect the pizza to come.
Pizza.
You
This
know.
pizza, when I heard it last week,
Pizza.
You understand? Can you just imagine?
Pizza.
Is it our
No, is it our local dish?
Yes.
Is it our local dish?
Pizza,
You
they are
understand?
soft play. They are soft play. They are bagana.
Every birthday, the cake before. Yes, it's wrong. So all I'm saying is that Agenda 111. I think that they should find the disputes. They should ask the peaceful assemblies.
Nobody has ever bought
if they can find people within there to help. They should
Somebody
also
has
go
gone
out.
to West
They should
Timor.
also go out and look for investors to come and do it,
Very well.
so that government can do what it
that
has
story? I
to
can't
do.
say it.
Thank you. Good morning to Pan African Television. I am Nasigiri Basani from Kpabala. So, the whole Kpabala Soul Clinic, there's no midwife to take care of my beautiful woman. Oh, this is terrible. I don't know where it is. I think it's in Northeast.
You said what?
Oh,
What's the name of the place?
Kpabala So.
Is it a book?
Bala So. Kpabala So. It's Mamprugu Mwaduru District, Northeast.
Oh, Northeast. Okay.
I wouldn't reply to that one.
Oh,
I wish I could.
Good morning to KOD and to your panelists. Please, our rent allowance, government owes us 8 months now. Please, some of our landlords cannot wait for us. Ken from Wa. Okay, he says in Northeast region.
Northeast.
This one says, good morning to you. The talk about ECG making losses and its related problems have been a headache for years. Government puts money, yet always ECG says they can't break even. This and may I know if all governments have taken the trouble to look at the salaries and conditions of service of ECG staff, the huge salaries and allowances, car and building loans, scholarships for their children, and all of the luxury packages. Do we also look at how and the category of people that are employed at the ECG? Families of politicians, existing management staff, etc., etc. Go there and look at their investment. I'm told that ECG and a few others, what they do is that they bring their family, so you can't bring somebody from outside. Yeah, that's what is happening. So when you are there, you go and bring your nephew or nieces, and they will come. They don't even advertise.
Why don't they advertise for other people?
Good morning, Pan African Television. Oh, it's the same thing.
But we must insist that people do the right thing.
Good morning to you, Pan African Television. Now this EC not providing bills. ECG. Okay, only send you now they are not providing bills. They only send you estimated bill. So paying becomes difficult for most people, and especially those who are in the coastal area, Keta and Loga and its environment. Hey, Charlie, I said,
if they're going to put prepaid, you say you not agree.
let me come to you.
About
Yes,
the agenda
111. Yeah.
For me, the first time I heard it, I think I was on air too. And I was like, this thing has not been taught to.
Overly ambitious.
Because honestly, how can you just decide? This is hospital. Yeah, just one day that I'm going to build 111 hospitals within 2 years. It was just impossible. When I said it, they nearly swallowed me up that morning. But looking at this, I'm not a contractor. I don't know what goes into building and out. But I knew it was not possible. And it was just for a political whatever, so that they can get people around and say, oh, there is something coming up. I believe in construction because anywhere these things are happening, there is work for everybody to do. The artisans in the area will get work to do. Even the women can get places to go and sell and also make small money for them. We have securities. So it's an avenue for the community to even get jobs to do. So unfortunately, they did not think through this thing. They just decided for political expediency or whatever to come out with this to just get some political favor. And it didn't even work for them. Like I said from the beginning, Ghanaians are now more enlightened than we used to. We read through things, we have seen a lot of things, and you can't just come and throw things at us and thinking that we'll vote for you based on that. Look at what you have left for us now. We have to go and cough up this money. From where? When we have things to pay, you give people serious haircuts. People who wanted punk, you give them Sakura. People who wanted half bow, you give them punk. Just unnecessary. This, I put my money thinking that when I go on pension, I can get more to eat or to take care of my, help my children to take care of their grandchildren. Like my dad, who always want to take more for his grandchildren. But you make people go to their grave without enjoying their benefits. And now we don't even know who will be going for these monies. Well, we know a lot of people who have died and their monies are still in the banks because they didn't leave wills and all that. Unfortunately, this is what we have at hand. Me, I believe in the missions. They've helped with schools over the years, and if they can help, well, this thing, we can't finish it. Because it's a promise the president also gave that we are going to continue with every project. So maybe, like Auntie Rhoda said, if the communities, the districts are something, where is the money going to come from?
They should go out and look for investors. It's not a question of sitting down.
No, you see, even let me tell you, even the district assembly, we are even making them lazy to generate their own money because they have
they collect
market tools and everything.
They do all sorts of things.
You understand?
Like my district, we don't have markets.
We don't have markets. But you see,
what about the property rates?
They sacked you.
It has to be innovative.
Yeah, so he lost.
Teddy.
He lost out of stubbornness. If you don't understand.
Which district is
Teddy was good.
Which district is that?
He's my friend.
He's my long-time friend, eh? We used to do music together.
Is that your district?
Me, I have like 4.
No, but
because by the virtue of what my father was a chief in Krabukesi, and the falls under.
So you are going to contest in Aiswana next time?
I will.
Okay.
Then I come from a breed too. Ebri Insachi is my constituency. Then I'm Evota. Then I have Ablukma West. So. So you see, so honestly, these things must be finished.
Yeah, we have
because we don't have to have, and like Auntie Rhoda said, monies are being wasted. Look at Saturday.
Waste.
Over 8 years, all the materials that were there, they put people they call is it national security there. They stole everything. The Honorable Sam George took them, arrested them to police station. Within the next 24 hours, they were released. And until now, that's a case is dead and gone. And suddenly it's lying there wasted.
Thank you.
So some of these things we have to look at.
If
it.
we
Like
really
you
want
said,
to be,
a president shouldn't just come out with this. For me, it doesn't make sense. Just for political whatever, and you start peace, wasting our money just on unnecessary things. Just one hospital out of 111. So we now have 110.
Kwame, if we want to be honest and sincere with ourselves, NPP and NDC, we are begging them.
NDC is different. We gave you Dakoha. We didn't promise so. We gave you Bank Hospital. We didn't promise.
Let me say something.
Let
me say something. Governance is a process. It's not an event. If every government, let's take it from 1992 or 1993, decided to continue this, we wouldn't have found ourselves. This is what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I want to continue this.
You see, that is why we must continue this.
Sure.
We shouldn't say that because it's NPP who started. That is what I'm saying.
Maria, Adam, says good morning to you and your wonderful women. Greetings to my sister Rodley Ayana. Sally Agboche. Kerry, good morning to you and your panelists. I love what you're discussing. Ghana should just look at Burkina Faso. William Monday Jekponu. We use private water company in Gais, and your service will be discontinued if you do not pay within 10 days. Maria Adam, the system is weak. In Western countries, we don't even know where the electricity cables are because you can't see them.
You can't see them.
This agenda 111 were started in the way they were done to enable the cabal and their it was started in the way to enable their cabal and their supporters steal as much money as possible. It was ill-conceived, like the free SHS for political capital. If they had concentrated on the new regions or aimed for about 20, they might have succeeded. But they were so driven by greed. Nana has destroyed this country. More exposures are awaiting. Every institution has been affected. Nasir Mohammed sent in this one. Good morning once again. Please, I'm surprised the former president Nana Akufo-Addo has asked President Mahama to complete the Agenda 111 hospitals, when he, Nana Akufo-Addo, could have used the cathedral money to complete the Agenda 111. He should leave the president to fix the country he has destroyed. Susie sent in this one. On that note, a big thank you to you, Hadia, for your time this morning. Thank you, Madam Rodlin, and thank you, Awo, for your time this morning. A big thank you to the viewers for watching today's edition of Good Morning Africa. My name is Kwame Osudan, so I'll see you when I see you. Have a nice day. Salute.